What's going on, you guys? My name is Kenyel. Welcome to KPNT. Today we're going to talk about the untold history of marijuana and the reason it's federally illegal. Let's get right into it. Marijuana was actually essential to human livelihood in America from 1619 to 1767 because it was one of the main components for clothes, rope, and even some war requirements. And of course, it was used medicinally for stomach relief all the way up to the day it became illegal. So the question arises, why did it become illegal in the first place? Well, it was actually racist-induced fear and corporate companies wanting to maximize on profit, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. What started it all was racism towards Mexicans that gave marijuana such negative connotations in the first place. And it all happened because of the influx of Mexican immigrants in 1910 trying to escape from the Mexican Revolution. And as with all people who move to new places, their culture comes with. Part of that culture was the act of smoking marijuana. That started to spread all over the country, becoming heavily used in a black American culture as well. And white Americans at the time used this to discriminate against it too. Fast forward a decade, the Great Depression hits, and racist tensions were never higher for Mexican Americans. They were to blame for the lack of jobs, but in all actuality, they were used as cheap labor for farmers. All throughout the media, they were called crazy because of their proclivity for their recreational use of marijuana. This is just one out of the many hundreds of newspapers lying on the behalf of marijuana and Mexicans, making most Americans scared. And they succeeded. In 1915 all the way through 1927, 8 states outlawed marijuana because of the lying propaganda. In June 14th, 1930, the Federal Bureau of Narcotics was created. Head of that program was this man, Harry J. Anslinger. He turned the battle against marijuana into an all-out war. He didn't believe tackling opioids and cocaine would cement his legacy, so he sought to ignite something that was already boiling. He wanted to do something that was rarely done, make a substance federally illegal. So he partnered with him, William Randolph Hearst, the owner of the biggest newspapers company at the time, equivalent to a Fox or a CNN today. Imagine if a CNN or Fox lied to you on a daily basis. We would all believe it, and they did. He started to write papers stating that marijuana was the plant of the devil, and that, I quote, "reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men." Truly heinous lies. But why did William Randolph Hearst agree to do this? Well, he invested thousands of dollars into acres of trees for his newspapers, and it was all going to go to a waste. Hemp, sister to marijuana plant, was becoming a better source for paper. It was labeled the billion-dollar plant. So of course he wanted to knock out competition and be as filthy rich as possible. And they were not the only masterminds of this operation. Multiple pharmaceutical companies wanted this plant out. So they did. In the month of October 1937, marijuana was outlawed with no inkling of science validity. Just lies and better lies. But this wouldn't stay permanent. In 1996, marijuana became decriminalized in the state of California, leading the movement for many other states to do the same. These blatant lies just doesn't hold up anymore. But around this time is where a new term for marijuana was given. It was being called a gateway drug. Weed is not a gateway drug. Pain, depression, the feeling of seeking anything that's not regular state of mind is. And yes, we all know any type of smoke is bad for your lungs, and that sugar can lead to death, and you can experience poisoning of the liver through alcohol. But who are we to tell each other what to do if we're not hurting anybody? The fact of the matter is, in 2020, 42 states have decriminalized some parts of marijuana, and 8 states still find it illegal. Corporate marijuana companies have made $12 billion for selling marijuana. But solely in the year of 2018, there has been 660,000 people arrested for marijuana. How is this right? Well, sadly, even to this day, corporate profit still triumphs public eligibility. The same thing we see many years ago. So on one hand, we have thousands of people incarcerated for marijuana, and on the other, we have people enjoying the recreational use of it. Sounds counterintuitive to the United States of America, right? Well, it is. So I'll just leave you off with a little quote. History maps the chaos we have been born into. I hope you guys really liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. See you guys next time.